Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome! Welcome to the OKGoodReview channel. And guys, you've seen, if you're a fan, if you're a follower, if you're a viewer of this channel, you've seen a lot of videos. Most of them have taken place involving this table at some point. Now this table is our kitchen table, and I got it because it's light colored and I wanted it to show up and so on. But you can see using it as a kitchen table has introduced some problems here. You can see we've had some heat burning the finish here. Let's come over here. We've got some, you can see those right there. You can see we've got some pitting here. You can see right there, you can see that the finish is actually wearing off. So you can see over there, look at this, finish is wearing off. So this thing has taken some battering. This thing has taken a pounding, it's taken a beating. And so I decided I should refinish it. So let's go through here. We've got 180 and 320. 320 will be our finish. This is the sandpaper I bought actually to take care of the rust on the car, guys. So feel free to check out that project video if you're interested in seeing me do some rust removal on our car. And we've got a tack cloth. So we got sandpaper, tack cloth. We've got this Minwax fast drying polyurethane, and so we're going to take this out to the garage, and we're going to, there's a different spray pattern, I guess. I don't know what all this is. So we're going to attempt to actually use this on one of the legs first to make sure that we don't have issues with it, and then we're going to basically just shoot it. So what we need to do is we need to clean this, which I'm going to do here momentarily. We're not staining it, so we don't need to do that. And then we're going to just basically shoot this, and this one is basically shoot it, wait 2 hours, shoot it, wait 2 hours, shoot it. So then this is 24-hour dry time. So this time tomorrow we'll be coming back to this video and taking a look and seeing how it looks. Hopefully we don't get any wind, so I don't wind up with dust blowing in the garage. Garage is not, it's where I paint all the models. It's not greatly clean, but I'm hoping that I might need to sweep it actually before I do that, but that tends to raise dust. So we'll see how dusty it gets when I sand this, guys. And of course, I'll have the camera with me for all this so you guys can see it. And I will be cleaning this off probably with just an isopropyl and a fast wipe, just so it doesn't dry out the table more, but I'll be doing that after first we do the initial cleaning. But we got a rubber sanding block here, Hyper Tough, I believe this is Walmart's, their line, and you can see we've got the spikes in there to put the paper through and cap it down, and away you go. I don't know if I'll be using that, or I got this one because I like the idea of this sort of mousetrap thing. And all right, so this one, the idea is that it just goes in there and claps down. And this one's really tight for some reason. This side. Is this side that tight? Did I just get lucky? Well, you push it. Push it this way? Okay. That's what it is. Alright, push it that way and then it springs out. So I guess it is somewhat mousetrappy. But I'm gonna start with, I shouldn't ever need to put this much force on there. So I'll probably just start with this and see how this goes. It does have this rubber base, which I'm a little nervous about, but we'll see how that goes. So let's set this up and then we'll get to sanding, guys. Okay, so the first thing is we need to clean this table. I've shot a couple other reviews today already, so this has been cleaned once, but I basically am just shooting it with just a spray, just like a Fabuloso, And we're just going to go through and clean it. So what we don't want to see is you don't want to see this. So you can see it's still dirty. You can see we're still getting a decent amount of dirt on this. So we want to try to get as much of that off as we can. Now, part of the problem is we have a bunch of, you can see right there, see the scarring rings, but that's dirt that's actually in the wood. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about that. I'm not taking it down that far, but so I'm going to shoot it again, the Fabuloso. I'm going to let it sit for a second, and then we're going to shoot it, and then we're going to try it again and see how close we get. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go one behind the other. So you can see these are both getting pretty clean. It's just wet now on this side. Let's take a look at this side. That's pretty much just wet too. So now the question is, why am I doing that? And the answer is because I don't want to sand any dirt into the table. So that's the main reason we're doing that. So I'm going to dry this off and then we'll get started. Alright guys, so I want to talk a little bit about the urethane. I got the semi-gloss. I'm just going to wait for this to finish drying completely. So I got this semi-gloss because I don't want color on it. I want it to keep this color. But we can also get a lot of glare bouncing off this, so I tried to choose a semi-gloss just because I'm hoping it'll read better on camera. I don't like the matte look, so I went with that. Now there is somewhat of a problem with this, and that is that the sandpaper is not fitting. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to make this work. See, even with it just barely on, it's just not enough to catch it so I can get it here. So what this means is that if I use this, I'm going to have to just use it unidirectionally. So, that's fine. We'll just do that. Alright, you can see the difference between the two sides. 180 is doing well on this, although it's clogging this up quite a bit. So I might need to switch. I think I'm going to do one pass till I ruin the sandpaper with this device. And then I think I'm going to jump in with the block. So we're going to do that to both sides, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, scratch that idea, because I can see that I can, if I stretch this and I just put it barely on, this actually will work with those. So, alright, you can see there's some spots we missed in the middle. I think because either the floor or the table is uneven, so I am going to save the last pass for the sanding block, concentrate on those areas, but I think we're going to wipe out the other side now. Alright, so this one's pretty clouded up. So we can tap some of this out of there. So let's, the reason I tossed the other one without trying to do that is because I used that one on the car. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to take this nice wet cloth, pull some of this off. Just a little water, that's all we got. And what we're looking for is those rings. And I think I'm going to have to hit it again. So I'm going to go end to end this time. You notice I'm going with the grain. I don't want to go against the grain. I don't want to introduce scratches that could show up. And I want to make sure I've gotten as much of this smoothed out over here as possible. So it looks like we're got the ring pretty much pulled out. Okay, now we need to take a look here. We got a lot of pitting here. This is looks like, so we're just going to touch up some of these areas with the sanding block rather than the palm sander. So one of the things I don't like about these is you can't always get the sandpaper super tight. This is probably close enough though. And all we're going to do is just go over our problem areas with this. Basically, we don't want to see anything shiny anymore. And I think we've got most of this off. Okay, so we're gonna wipe it off one last time, do a double check, and then we're gonna move on to the 320. Okay, and we can see we have a couple areas where we had some breakdown over here of the original varnish. And over there, you can see that is introduced, so you can see it right there. So introduced some issues with color, which we're not going to be dealing with any stain or anything like that in this video. Okay, so we got the 320 on, and what we're going to do is just nice and gently smooth it out. Nice fine grit. Shouldn't take off a whole lot of this. Give us a nice smooth surface. Put that on and see there's the whole thing and it's just barely on there. So alright, we're going to take all this dust back off and then we're going to do this again 2 or 3 more times, and then by then we're just going to prep the whole thing and then we'll be ready to hit it with isopropyl and then a tack cloth and then shoot it. And so we'll be shooting it in the garage and doing the other stuff as well, the prep in there. So I'm going to finish sanding this up 2 to 3 more times, making sure to take the water, get all the dust off, and before you do consecutive times. So 2 more times of the 320, and at that point we'll be in the garage to do the final prep and then shoot it. So we'll see you out there. A little bit of an ordeal to get it in. See, we had to take the door off the hinges, but here it is. Let's see, we're in. I actually did 2 passes with the 320, and it's smooth. It's in good shape. It's not perfect, but this is more of a repair. rather than me trying to completely refinish it and take it down to nothing. I did separate the two halves, so I don't want them to be basically clear coated into themselves. So I'm gonna basically just having this here right now so I can show you the rest of the prep, and then I'm gonna take the camera out of here for the actual shoot because I don't want that on the camera either. So this will be our very, very, very last step. Now I have already rinsed it off twice with just water and a paper towel, so that part is done. Now we're going to move on to any contaminants from when we're removing, any finger grease, any of that. All I have here is our good old buddy 90% isopropyl, and all we're going to do is just wet the rag. No more than that. See, we just got it wet. So all we're going to do is what I call the follow. Here's how the follow is going to go. Okay. So we have the rag. We have the alcohol rag follow right behind, okay? We don't want to leave this on. Make sure we get that off right away, because this will have a tendency to dry the wood. All this is for final wipe down. Make sure there's no contaminants on, okay? That half is done, and this is already dried up. I'm doing this in the middle of summer, so it's super hot. So the alcohol's already dried out. Next half. Okay. Very smooth table, except for some of the pits that are just too deep for me to fix. You have kids, right? They're just going to hammer on the table. So you have some of the old coating that was actually driven into the surface a bit. We're not going to worry about that. If I was really trying to do this completely, what I would do is I would take this all the way down. Not quite to a replaning, but definitely all the way down, so that the surface was completely even. You can see little shiny bits in there, which I think will be okay, but I would take it all the way down, then restain it, and then I would do that. So final step, here we are, and here's the tack cloth. Tack cloth is basically just a sticky cloth to pick up any residue that your previous passes might have missed. Final wipe down. And we did a pretty good job. There's nothing coming up on this. Okay. You can see we did a pretty good job here. There's nothing there. So now we're just down to this. So I'm going to pull the camera out of here, stop the video right here. I'm going to shoot the table. And once I'm done shooting the table, we'll come back tomorrow when it's dry and take a peek and see how everything is looking. So we'll see you then. All right, here we are, day 2, and I'm highly displeased with this finish. This did not, it's got rough spots in it. It's got uneven glossiness to it. I don't know if you can pick any of this out or not. But the bottom line is it's just not good enough. So I had some minor issues with the aerosol, maybe a little more than minor even. We've got rough spots. So I'm gonna have to Scotch-Brite it. And then I'm just gonna Scotch-Brite areas, tack it, and then do what I should have done and just stain it here. I've got sponges, I've got a brush. Not sure which I'm using yet. Probably the sponges because they're cheaper. I'm just gonna toss them, but yeah, the aerosol is not the way to go. So anyway, I'm gonna get into this using a liquid and manual application. I probably should have known better. I probably should have just went with the brush. But evenness with the aerosol, definitely, you can kind of see it there. Definitely did not happen. And I shot the entire can into this. So there shouldn't have been any problem with blending. But, alright, so we're going to hit it with Scotch-Brite in a couple of the areas where there's actual rough spots. This thing was perfectly smooth when I started. So we're going to take that down, tack it off, and reapply the sealer. And hopefully when I come back tomorrow, which will now be day 3, hopefully it will be looking a whole lot better. So we'll find out and we'll see you then. Alright, and here we are, 100% better. See, we have a nice even coat. Definitely going with a liquid versus an aerosol, absolutely the way to go. And that was the big problem with the aerosols, it just wasn't getting enough on there. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks good. Looking a lot like when it was new, outside of the gouges and pit marks. And the black things have been rubbed in. But it is glaring a little bit more than I was thinking it would. This is only semi-gloss too, it's not even gloss, so matte might have been a better choice, but I like glossy stuff. It's very nice. It's not really a satin, it's more a semi-gloss, but definitely the way to go. Nice liquid can, nice sponge applicator, and you get gorgeous results like this. And with the sponge, there's enough that even if you have a slightly uneven surface, and this is uneven in many places, you can still get coverage on it. So, but yeah, our repair job is done. The table looks great, and definitely don't waste money on the aerosols. Wasted a whole day and $6 whole. But there it is, guys. The resealing, refinishing of the kitchen table, which is our review table, of course. Guys, if you did enjoy our look at this, please give us the old thumbs up, guys. Hit that red subscribe button if you've not done so already. Blue bell next to the red subscribe button, and comments if they're available and you care to do it. Feel free to utilize those. Whether or not, guys, we would love to have you come follow us on our Twitter feed, where updates to the channel are made by myself pretty much as soon as they happen. You can comment to videos there if you care to. And there is Twitter specific content such as displays. Not using this obviously, but actual display shelves for some of our other stuff, like the action figures and whatnot. But anyway, guys, there it is. One last look at the new gorgeous table. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.